In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on September 22nd, 2022, and providing you with team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. West Virginia versus Virginia Tech. West Virginia will try to build on its 65-7 win over Towson when it travels to Virginia Tech for Thursday night showdown. The Mountaineers are still looking for a win over a Power 5 team this season, as they came up short against Pittsburgh and Kansas in their first 2 games. Virginia Tech lost to Old Dominion in its opener before bouncing back with wins over Boston College and Wofford. The Mountaineers recorded a 27-21 win at home when these teams met last season. The Mountaineers lost 2 of their first 3 games, but both losses came against very good teams. They have a high-scoring offense that can beat opponents through the air and on the ground. The Hokies haven't given up a lot of yards or points so far, but that has more to do with the quality of their opponents than their defense, with the Mountaineers putting up 36 points per game against tough opponents like Pittsburgh and Kansas while racking up over 400 yards in both games. Virginia Tech's defense is on for a very long night. The Hokies have put up a respectable average of 24 points per game, but the numbers are quite disappointing considering their first 3 opponents. They won't be able to run efficiently against the Mountaineers, who have a very good run defense, and they have a turnover-prone quarterback that is known to struggle under pressure, so expect them to have a hard time keeping up with the Mountaineers. So the West Virginia Mountaineers money line is our full game side pick. The Mountaineers are averaging 46 points per game, and they haven't been held under 30 points this season. They averaged 23 points per game in their last 3 games against the Hokies. They have done a great job passing and running the ball, and they're playing a team that hasn't faced an offense as potent as theirs, so expect the Mountaineers to score more than 30 points in this game. The Hokies are averaging 24 points per game, and they've been held under 30 points in each of their first 3 games. They averaged 29 points per game in their last 3 games against the Mountaineers. Even though they're not explosive offensively, they will be able to exploit West Virginia's pass defense, which hasn't been very good. With the Mountaineers giving up at least 38 points in 2 games against Power 5 teams, the Hokies will score enough points to push the score past the total. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Coastal Carolina versus Georgia State. This Thursday, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers and the Georgia State Panthers will match up in the 4th week of the 2022 college football season. Kickoff will be inside Center Park Stadium. Both of these teams are coming into this one after tough Week 3 matchups. Coastal Carolina is coming into this one after taking down Buffalo 38-26. They ran a very balanced offensive attack as they continued to move the ball on the ground and through the air. They will be looking to keep the Panthers on their toes with their balanced play calling this week. The Georgia State Panthers are entering this one after falling to the Charlotte 49ers 42-41. The Panthers came up just short as they couldn't pick up their first win at home. They will be aiming to run the ball down the Chanticleers' throats as they have multiple capable running backs. The Coastal Carolina Chanticleers will travel to Atlanta on Thursday night to play the Georgia State Panthers in a Sun Belt East matchup. The Sun Belt has been one of the more fun conferences to watch so far, as they have had numerous schools making the headlines on the national stage in non-conference play. Now that we are entering conference play, the Sun Belt is a league I plan on keeping a close eye on to see who emerges from the group of talented and under-the-radar schools. Last year's game saw Coastal Carolina outgain the Panthers by 69 yards, convert 8 more first downs than Georgia State, and have the ball for nearly 10 more minutes. However, they lost the turnover battle by 2, including a crucial fumble late in the game that set up State in scoring position. It was a disappointing loss for Coastal, as it was only their 2nd of the season and the only one in front of their home crowd. When these teams faced off in 2020, Coastal Carolina dominated with a 51-0 final score as Grayson McCall tossed 4 touchdowns and ran for another to lead the Chanticleers to a convincing victory. McCall is in his 3rd full year as the Coastal Carolina starting quarterback and has performed admirably with 64 combined touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, and a 70.1% completion rate. The junior signal caller has propelled his team to a 3-0 start, albeit none of the wins coming by more than 12 points. Army, Gardner-Webb, and Buffalo aren't necessarily the toughest competition to begin their season, but Georgia State hasn't been sharp either as they enter this game 0-3. The Panthers did at least schedule a tough non-conference schedule with losses to North Carolina and South Carolina, but their most recent loss to Charlotte was alarming. Charlotte is a team that lost a lot of production from last year's team and looked horrible on both sides of the ball in their first 3 games of the season. Offensively, Georgia State wants to run the ball as their quarterback Darren Granger has a career 54.3% completion rate, and that mark is 51.7% this season through their first 3 games. Granger does provide some capability with his legs, but their leading rusher Tucker Gregg has had a yards per carry figure of only 3.9 this season compared to his 5 mark from last year, and I'm not sure how much success they will have against what has been a stout Chanticleer's rush defense. Georgia State has home field advantage, and this will be the first road test for Coastal, but the Chanticleers are 9-1 on the road in the last 2 seasons with an average margin of victory in those wins of nearly 19 points, and each win by at least a field goal. At this short line, I will side with the better quarterback and the team that has shown more early in the season. So the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers money line is our full game side pick. I see both of these defenses struggling at different times. The Panthers are currently scoring the 87th most points in the country, and the Chanticleers are scoring the 54th most. Both of these teams can move the ball, and they will continue to attack one another throughout this game. The Georgia State defense is also horrible, as I see them allowing the Chanticleers to successfully move the ball up and down the field all night. Coastal Carolina is also averaging the 59th most yards per game, as this Panthers defense will continue to struggle. Their secondary worries me, as I see Grayson McCall throwing the ball all over Georgia State's defense. They struggled against Charlotte last week, and I see that trend continuing in this one. The Chanticleers will score the majority of the points in this game. The Panthers scored 42 points last week, and the Chanticleers are surrendering the 80th most points per game. They are also averaging the 17th most rush yards per game, as they will keep Coastal Carolina on their toes with their play calling. Their rushing attack will also open up the play-action pass, as the Chanticleers secondary has had issues this season. They are allowing 289.3 passing yards per game, as the Panthers will score just enough points to push this total past the number. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Chattanooga versus Illinois. The Chattanooga Mocs and the Illinois Fighting Illini meet in college football action from Memorial Stadium on Thursday night. The Chattanooga Mocs improved to 3-0 on the year with a 41-14 win over North Alabama last time out. Preston Hutchinson's thrown for 303 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception on 22 of 31 passing, while Elam Ford rushed for a team-high 96 yards, and the aforementioned Hutchinson had a pair of rushing scores as well. Sam Phillips added a team-high 5 catches for 96 yards, while Keyshawn Toney added 42 receiving yards, and Ford had a pair of touchdown grabs. Jamoy Mays also added a touchdown reception of his own in the victory. The Illinois Fighting Illini will be out to build on their 24-3 win over Virginia last time out to improve to 2-1 on the year. At the time this article was written, Tommy DeVito's thrown for 622 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception on 67% passing, while Chase Brown's rushed for 496 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Isaiah Williams leads Illinois receiving group with 19 catches for 157 yards, while Pat Bryant has 147 receiving yards so far this season. On defense, Keith Randolph Jr. has a team-high 17 total tackles, while Devin Witherspoon has a team-high 13 solo tackles, and Jurgen Newton has a pair of sacks. Kendall Smith also has a pair of interceptions so far this season. The Chattanooga Mocs take on the Illinois Fighting Illini in a Thursday night matchup. The Mocs have started the season 3-0 and are facing their first real test against a Power 5 opponent. Illinois is 2-1 with wins over Virginia and Wyoming, and their single loss being to Indiana on the road. The Illini are looking to get a win in their bye game and go 4-0 before starting their Big Ten schedule next week. Illinois is coming off a 24-3 home win over Virginia. They are 2-1 straight up and against the spread. The Illini have looked like a complete football team through 4 weeks, averaging 439 yards of offense and only allowing 265.3 yards of defense. They are going up against a Chattanooga team that has also looked good in their first 3 games, but has not played a FBS opponent. The Mocs are one of the better teams in FCS football, but they do not have the talent to hang with this Illini team for long. Look for Illinois to pull away late in the game and take care of business. So Illinois to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. This total is very low for a point spread this large. The Illini have only hit the over once this season. Illinois, under head coach Brett Bielema, are a run-the-ball and play defense type of team. They will control the clock and keep Chattanooga off the field. Illinois has hit the under in 10 of their last 13 games. They own time of possession and keep scores low. Chattanooga has only allowed on average 11 points per game in their first 3 games. They don't have an elite defense, but they should be able to make enough stops to keep this game below the total. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.